So, as far as the heartbreaking story, was it written from a place of an actual heartbreak, or did you just want to create something that is universal?
So, I wrote it after my first relationship. I was 16, and I had just gotten broken up with, and it was my high school boyfriend, and I was glad that things ended, but at the time, I was not. And so one night I just sat down, wrote it in my Apple Notes app as a poem, and 3 years later I decided to make it a script in my first short film for Film School.
What was the film experience like? How long was it? And what cameras do you guys get to use it at this school?
Julia, I'll let you talk about the cameras.
Okay, so I wasn't a part of the film like a lot as like the pre-production phase, but the cameras were Canon, and that's basically all that I can remember about them. It was just such a blur shooting it because it was only like a 3-day shoot, so I was just kind of focusing on trying to get everyone to do their jobs more. I honestly barely touched any of the equipment. I was just trying to get everybody to kind of hurry up and maximize the amount of emotion that we were trying to put in the scene, rather than trying to get the crew to like focus on like, what I can't explain it, but like I was trying to maximize the power that we were putting into the production more than focusing on like what kind of equipment we used. I was just trying to get everybody to do I was trying to make make sure that the sound was okay, and make sure that the shots were okay before we could actually move on. I actually got angry a couple times at some people.
But it took about a month to put together because the script was pretty easy. I took the poem, put that in, and then wrote the narrative, like the visual shots that went along with it. And the poem is read over the entire visual narrative. So it took about a month to do all the pre-production, and we had a 3-day shoot, and I spent a couple days editing. So it was only a 7-minute short film. So.
Did you get to shoot on campus? Was there any particular location?
We shot in the Grove on campus, and we shot in some of the student apartments. So,
as far as it going from the poem to what it is now, has it changed drastically, or is it very similar to that original idea that you had in your mind?
It's fairly similar. When I was 16, I only had one relationship to really relate it to, but by the time I actually turned it into a short film, I had more experiences, so I was able to embody multiple aspects of a relationship and not just the heartbreak side. So I was able to bring in like those happy emotions, the honeymoon phase that people call it. So.
I'm curious, was the writing part, the directing, which one was more enjoyable for you?
I loved all of it. The most enjoyable aspect for me was the cinematography. I absolutely love shot design and lighting, and that's really my passion.
Very cool.
So directing was very stressful. So glad I had Julia to help me out with it.
Well, thank you. I'm glad I had you to keep me from being too mean to people.
I'm curious, as far as next steps for you both, is this what you guys want to continue to do, this type of work? And do you want to do any of your writing or any of your work? I'm curious, how has this impacted your journey?
I didn't know that they were doing this until like a couple hours before the shoot, and then she was just like, "Will you be my first AD?" And I was like, "Okay, I can do that. I mean, sure. I mean, if you need one, I'll do it."
We had a couple people that dropped out at the last minute and had plans, and so as director, I was like running around stressed out, but Julia was able to take over the reins of a lot of things. But I really enjoyed the writing. Directing was fun, but very stressful. So I think I'll continue to write and focus on being a DP.
I'm curious, what does it mean to be a part of the festival and to see the other films in your short block? It's got to be very enlightening just to see what the other ideas were.
It was amazing. This is my first film festival ever, so being able to watch my film on a screen that big was absolutely amazing, and being able to talk to other directors and filmmakers and watch all their films was amazing. So I was truly able to see like where I ranked and like all the people around me, and it was amazing. There were some amazing people in those film festivals, and I'm glad I got to watch their films and talk with them.
Any particular filmmaker or cinematographer that inspires you?
Tony King has a film called The Invite List, and he's a fabulous director. I got to work with him recently on a film called Followed, and his cinematographer is Talia Harmon, and she's phenomenal. She's incredibly talented, and she has like such a way of pulling together these shots that I never would have even thought of. And so she inspired me a lot.
Very nice. Thank you, ladies, for chatting with me. Thank you for being bold enough to make a film, and for being bold enough to take a couple of hours notice and doing your work. That's freaking awesome. And you guys have a wonderful next step in your career, hopefully.
Thank you.